Okay, Chapter 1, Semester Exam Review. So, first question, describe each pattern and find the next two terms or drawings in each sequence. So, we're trying to find the pattern here. So, if I go from 1 to 3, I'm adding 2. 3 to 9, I'm adding 6. 9 to 27, I'm adding 18. So, I'm not adding the same number. So, now check multiplying. It looks like you're multiplying by 3 to get the next number. So that's what it means when describing each pattern. You're multiplying by 3. So to get the next number, you're going to multiply that 27 by 3. So 27 times 3 is 81. So the next term's 81. And then 81 times 3 is 243. So those are the next two terms. Okay, then I'll try the next one. First I do I add 11, then this one goes up by 9, then this one goes up by 11. Okay, so it looks like it's a pattern, add 11, add 9, add 11, add 9. So add 11, add 9, add 11, add 9, etc. So I'm going to, the next, if I go 11, 9, 11, next one add 9, it's going to be 44. Then number 3, name 4 coplanar points. So coplanar means they lie on the same plane. So if this is my plane, this is plane Q, C, M, B, D, E are all on this plane. These are coplanar. This plane down here is called plane P. O, F, A, they are on this plane, plane P. And then CO is a line that intersects the plane at points M and O. So name 4 coplanar points. So I'm going to write them C, and then, actually it's kind of hard to see if C is on there. M is the intersection of it, it looks like, so I'm going to go with M, then B, E, comma, D. C is hard to see. I think if C, M, O are all going through the two planes, Q and P, then there's no way that C and M can both be on the same plane. So I'm going to say that M, B, and E are on the plane and C is off the plane. Okay, 4, name 3 collinear points. So 3 points that make a line are M, B, and E. 5, name 4 non-coplanar points. So pick 3 points. I'm going to pick 3 points that are on the top plane, and then I'm going to pick the one that's off of it, so A. So B, D, and E are on the same plane, then A is off it. Okay, 6, find each intersection. So CO, the line, crosses plane Q at point M. So think of a pencil being the line, and it's slicing through the paper Q at point M. It's just a point. What's the intersection of the line ME and the line CO? So the line ME and the line CO intersects at point M again. What's the intersection of the plane P and the point F? Well, the intersection, the only point that they have in common is the point F. What's the intersection, or what do they have in common of the line CO and the plane P? So what the line CO has in common with this plane down here is this point right here, which is the point O. And then use the figure to find each measure. So if these two angles right here have this angle bisecting symbol or congruent symbol, then this has to be x minus 6. So I'm going to write that in. So ACD right here is this angle. So in order to find the measure of that angle, I need to figure out what, well, I could figure out, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. You can do its vertical with this, or I'm going to do that if this is 130 degrees, right here, these two angles would have to add up to 180. So this part right here has to be 50. So if these two are equal, this has to be 25. So I like that. 25 degrees is ACD. DCF also is 25 degrees because of this congruent symbol. FCE is this angle right here, and that's 130 degrees because it's vertical. And then ACE, it's just a line. So if it's a line, it's 180 degrees. It's a straight angle. Okay, construct each of the following. So the angle bisector. So if you have an angle bisector, construct it. You put your compass point right at here and swing an arc. The arc needs to intersect both sides of the angle. Now where these two angles meet, you put your pointer and you swing another arc, and then from this side right here you keep your compass the same and then swing another arc. And where these two cross is your angle bisector. So you mark that. Perpendicular bisector, I'm going to draw this one down here. So if you have an AB and you're doing the perpendicular bisector of it, you put your pointer of your compass at an endpoint, swing an arc, then move over to the other side and don't move your compass. Keep it the same. Swing an arc. This is off because I'm just using my fingers. And then connect these two. This is way off because of these 2 points. And then make your markings that it's a perpendicular bisector. Also remember you have to know the distance formula and the midpoint formula. So here's the distance formula. Distance equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. The midpoint formula is take the average of the x's and then take the average of the y's. And there's your midpoint. So first I'm going to do the distance formula. Okay, so I plugged in these numbers. Now just be careful with your negatives. So this is going to be 4 squared, which is 16. This is going to be negative 3 squared. Negative 3 squared is a positive 9. So the square root of 16 plus 9 is the square root of 25, which is 5. That's the distance. The midpoint is add up your x's, so 6, and divide it by 2. Then add up your y's. Negative 1 plus 2 is 1, divided by 2. Now just reduce it, and then make sure you write it as an ordered pair. So this is going to be 3 1/2. And then now I'm going to do the distance formula on the next one. So I plugged in 11 minus negative 6, so it's a square root of 17 squared plus 3 squared. Excuse me. So 17 squared I think is 289. But let me check. So 17 times 17 is 289. So distance is the square root of 289 plus 9. So distance equals the square root of 298. So if I can't take the square root of 298, so I round to the nearest tenth. So do the square root of 298. To the nearest tenth is 17.3. So it's approximately 17.3. And then the last part is to do the midpoint. So I'm running out of room. So I add up the x's and I get 5. And then I add up the y's and I get negative 3. So now you can write it, you can keep this as a fraction or you can write it as a decimal. So it's 2.5 comma negative 1.5.